Hi, I'm Isaac. I'm making this video as a school project in which I'll be asking Antonio Villaraigosa some questions about his stance on gun control. These are questions I'd be asking any politician, but since the gubernatorial election is coming up, these questions are written to Antonio Villaraigosa. So Antonio, I know that you believe that we as a state need an assault weapon ban, but one of the largest problems with proposing an assault weapon ban is that such bans, like the Public Safety and Recreational Firearms Act passed in 1994, often leave loopholes because assault weapon is a political buzzword with many different interpretations. The first question I have is this: how do you define an assault weapon as opposed to a normal weapon or firearm? Defining an assault weapon will give your voters a more clear view on your stance on what you mean when you say that we should ban all assault weapons. Secondly, there's a huge argument over the AR-15 and similar styled rifles, and whether or not civilians should be allowed to own one. My question is this: would banning the AR-15 and similar rifles be a step in the right direction? So here's some mass shooting statistics. In mass shootings that have occurred from the year 1987 to 2017, 43 rifles were used in those mass shootings. In that same span of time, 99 handguns were used in mass shootings. Similarly, over the span of 8 years, 4,265 people have been murdered in Chicago, which is known for having some of the strictest gun laws in the nation. 3,371 of those killings were done with a firearm. Out of those 3,371, only 37 of those murders were committed with a rifle. So, what I'm getting at is that rifles do not get used in murders nearly as much as handguns. So knowing this, what is your stance on banning semi-automatic rifles? And do you have any plans to ban handguns as well? So next, I'd also like to know how you would enforce a gun ban to stop mass shootings and murders. There are between 270 to 310 million firearms in America. There's about 326 million people living in America. That's about 162 million males in America and roughly 120 million adult males in America. I bring this up because statistically, men are much more likely to commit a crime when using a firearm, or they're a lot more likely to commit a crime with a firearm, and exponentially more likely to commit a mass shooting when compared to women. So I'm going to focus on the adult male population ratio to firearm. So for the sake of easy math, I'll assume that there are 120 million adult males in America and 300 million guns. That's 2.5 guns per adult male, who statistically speaking are the most likely to be a mass shooter. Assuming a gun ban was implemented, how do you propose keeping existing guns out of the wrong hands? And to sort of tie into that some more, I have a question that I believe many gun owners have. Does pushing for gun control laws infringe on a person's basic right to self-preservation? I know many people whose main motivations for buying a firearm was for self-defense. I know many women, my aunts and mom included, do not feel safe at times when walking by themselves, so they have purchased a firearm to carry concealed. This is because police response time in their local area is long, with few officers stretched across a large amount of land, meaning my family members do not want to risk their lives relying on busy police officers. This is where the saying, if we outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns, comes in. I ask, while it is an overused phrase, where is the fallacy? By definition, if someone owns a banned firearm, that makes them a criminal. The fear that many gun owners have is that if their guns are banned, then they will be left unarmed. In the world we live in, with technology such as 3D printing and the existence of legal markets, how could a widespread gun ban take guns away from all the people who wish to harm other people with guns? It is similar to the drug problem. Drugs are illegal, but if someone wants to get drugs, they can, whether they find a dealer or make it themselves. This is made much harder since the drugs are illegal, but they have the motive, so they will try to find a way. A law-abiding citizen has no motive to go around the law, by definition, so they are left without the banned substance. And the way that it is so hard to get rid of illegal drugs, I just want to know how you would propose to deal with illegal guns. The state government has not been able to deal with getting drugs out of the hands of the public, considering drug overdoses are the number 1 premature killer in California. So how would the state expect a gun control law to be any more successful? Many gun owners fear a gun ban would leave them defenseless against an armed criminal. That's the main issue. So anyways, thank you, Antonio, for hypothetically listening to my questions. I understand gun control is a very hard issue, and it's not as simple as banning everything or allowing anything. I don't want to be too biased towards one side or another. I just purposely chose questions that addressed your opinions on gun control. Thank you.